Mgtow Millionaire. Crazy old lady. Welcome back to my little corner of the web. This is Focus Room and your host back with another video. Today we're going to touch a little subject on this news story from Kansas when an old lady, 69 years old, killed her husband, 65. Yes, you heard right. And the report for that reads the following. It says, the Jefferson County Sheriff Office said in news release that it received a call about 2:30 p.m. from 69-year-old Patricia Hill, who told the dispatchers that she just shot her 65-year-old husband, Frank. When police arrived at home, located about 36 miles south of Little Rock, they found Frank Hill dead in a shed on the property. Hill sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the upper and lower body, according to police. The sheriff's office said that during an interview with the Hill, she told investigators that she arrived at home and went to the shed on her property to confront her husband, but there have never been any physical altercations between the couple. However, Mrs. Hill stated that she disagreed with her husband's purchase of video pornography via the telephone guide, which she canceled upon discovering the purchase. But Mr. Hill managed to place a subsequent order. Major Lafayette Woods Jr. said Mrs. Hill stated that she entered the shed and asked her husband to leave, but he refused. When her husband didn't leave the shed, Hill told investigators that she went back to their home and got a .22 caliber pistol. She went back to the shed a short time later, where she entered and shot her husband twice, striking him once in the leg and once in the head, Woods said. Immediately following the shooting, Mrs. Hill stated that she returned inside the residence, where she returned the weapon and called 911 to report the shooting. I'm going to stop right there and don't talk about any further. I read the story. I posted a link down below and I have a screenshot on the story during this video. And I was going to talk about our subjects, but this is incredible to me. This is a 69-year-old lady. She's been married all her life. And let's put ourselves into her shoes for a second. She got slighted, felt betrayed, felt put down, like she was not worth much, because her husband had chosen to watch pornography than to deal with her. So that's an angle. And yes, you should feel slighted if you're looking for something else instead of your partner, right? I give her that, but only that. I don't know how long they were married because the report, as far as I can see, doesn't say. Nevertheless, you're married your whole life, or a good portion of your adult life when you get to 69 and 65 years old. And this is the type of stuff you get? Aren't you supposed to live a calm retirement, joyful, or at least uneventful, peaceful life when all this is done when you're old? Isn't that what's supposed to happen here? I'm not saying that this is not an arbitrary situation or an extreme situation. But how many extreme examples do we need to get? How crazy does he have to get? This is unbelievable. This is unacceptable. But we see this all the time, for power, for money, for changing spouses, for various interests. You see all this corruption, degradation, and usurpation of the real meaning of what a couple or marriage is. But if you get this from elderly people over 60, and over a childish thing, yeah, I know you're 60 years old, 60 plus, and your moral compass might be a little bit more conservative, or at least different from the younger generations, because we're a little bit more open now. I guess we can all agree to that. Nevertheless, how crazy do you have to be? How out of your mind do you have to be? But all that is just standard. What I'm saying so far is just normal. The kicker of this story, even if it's shorter, is how cold and how calculating can someone be? Did all those years before that matter anything at all? Couldn't she ask for a divorce? Couldn't she just walk out? Is this part of the strange diatribe that is derived into women's mind because of the Me Too movement and feminism and all that? I'm not saying it is, I'm asking the question. Think about it. You spend your whole life with a woman and then all of a sudden she decides because you buy pornography and she feels slighted or put down or degraded or whatever it is that she's feeling, that watching pornography, even though she said you couldn't do it because after all she's the boss of you, this is quite obvious by the story, she's the boss of him, in her mind of course, she just ends you. But it ends you in such a cold, hard-nosed, hardcore way of doing it that it makes me want to puke. How do you feel about it? How do you react to that? I am mad, aren't you? I'm sorry, I have to bend somehow. I just can't believe what I just seen. It happens, but I never expected for an elderly woman to do it. And the way she did it, she just gets mad, husband disobeys whatever she thinks order that she gave. He goes ahead with whatever he wanted to do, got another order for the porn. She gets mad, gets out a 22 caliber gun, plucks the guy, and he rests in peace, by the way. Calmly puts the gun back where it was and then calls 911. Think about it. Even if you, as a man, even if I, as a man, were to enact vengeance, I couldn't be that cold. Because porn, a bullet over porn. What are you, the mafia? What are you? Some sort of a ultra millionaire? What the heck? Even then, it's hard to justify or hard to understand. The world's going crazier. And in the exacerbating circumstance here is that she's an elderly woman. You're supposed to be past your menopause. You're supposed to be past your crazy days. You're supposed to be mellowing down, not ramping up and going out of your freaking mind. An elderly retirement and being on the porch eating lemonade with your better half and seeing through the end of your days. What's society coming to? What's going on? How cold can you be? It was almost like a hitman shot. Take the gun out, put the gun in, walk over. You didn't do what I said, you die. Put it back in, call the police, and it's the end. And all those years of marriage before, and everything he probably did, and I'm pretty sure he provided for her. What the heck? Remember, if she doesn't fear you, this is fucking Truman, your host. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please like and share, subscribe this story. We must spread this one out a little bit. This is pissing me off. Truman off.